Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Crypto.com arena for the LA Sparks weekly pregame show. Myself, Fredo Cervantes, and I'm here with
Michael Matthew, and we are here. It is Kids Day, Fredo.
Yes, man, it's wild right now.
It is already wild. We're like 40 minutes away from game time. It is going to be nuts.
Look at that. You hear that crowd? They're going nuts already. So LA Sparks cannot let the kids down today, this afternoon here. Of course, it did get a victory against the Indiana Fever just the other day here, and it was right at the last second, Mike.
Man, big time shot from Jordan Canada. Now it's round two.
Yes.
Aaliyah Boston, Erica Wheeler, and the ladies with the Indiana Fever, they're going to be ready to go because they got to get their get back, and to do it in front of the kids would be so heartbreaking, but they don't care.
Nah.
They want to play. They're trying to get some victories so that they can try to fight and get a playoff spot.
Right, so it's going to be a little difficult, a little bit, only because Lexie Brown will be out tonight. But Karlie Samuelson, who is arguably the best shooter in the league right now, she will be playing today. But, man, this crowd is going to be nuts. It's like a playoff game today. I don't know why.
The atmosphere is always crazy. For Kids Day, Camp Day, some call it. So, the kids are going to give all their energy. So let's hope that the Sparks can come out with their energy. And let's hear from Coach as he talked to everyone pregame.
Seems to be that time of the day.
So with that said, Coach, how does the routine change for you? And what's required from you in terms of getting your squad ready this early?
Yeah, different. The positive is the series that we now have across the league, and you play games back to back, and it's the preparation, it's the fun part of coaching, it's the chess match, but obviously it's not easy to prepare. Like in college, we would have practiced 3 hours yesterday and played again. In the pros, it's more through film, it's more through a chalk talk. It's light repetitions on the floor, if that, at best, and then just rest and recovery for these guys. And then, at the pro level with early games, you got to lean on your veterans and have them model what professional habits look like to be prepared in the morning. You emphasize how important fueling their body is for a very early afternoon game. So getting up and having a routine, but making sure they're getting the fluids and the food for the fuel that they need for these games. This is the second game in less than 48 hours.
Can it certainly help that you're facing the same opponent?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the preparation, again, it's fun, the chess match that goes into the subtle changes, and then what worked well, and then be ready for, all right, they made this adjustment, this is different, we have to adjust, and what they're going to do to our counters. And so, again, in a short turnaround with very little, practice opportunity, no shoot around for either team, I think, again, we're going to be who both of us are. We're going to lean on our pillars, and we're going to lean on what we believe while we tweak individual little things.
Coach, so Karlie's back today, but Lexie's out? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I guess then Karlie just kind of slots into what you guys were doing. It seemed like you guys finally busted out the old Lexie playbook last game with the curls and the kind of things you guys were running at the start of the season. Does Karlie run those same actions or?
Yeah. Again, we both have Indiana and LA have similar playbooks. And then there's quick hits amongst actions that you may not use for a couple games and all of a sudden bust out and you use 4 or 5 times in a game. And teams across the league are like that. Lexie, Karlie's shooting ability and the attention that they draw, rightfully so, at the arc, allow you to run different things. But they also allow you to run counters because of the attention that they get. So, nice to have those guys in the lineup. Certainly gives you a weapon from deep, and it spaces the floor. And offense, in my opinion, is all about spacing. And when you have great shooters, they naturally space the floor. So, disappointed and feel bad that Lexie's out again. But again, this group is now pivoted quite a bit this season, and will pivot again. And again, next person up mentality. It gives someone like Zia Cooke the start tonight, and gets a rookie a chance in this league to continue to grow and develop, and it gets us to pour into her tonight. So there's always unintended consequences that are positive, through adversity, and we have adversity again today, and but I'm excited for Zia.
Amani Wright with One-Sider. Coach, for you, I noticed in the beginning of the game, last game, that there was a couple backdoor cuts that happened earlier in the game. How are you guys going to adjust today with that?
Yeah, I think that Indiana did a good job at times of cutting our congestion. We wanted to try to shrink some driving gaps on their talented guards, someone like Kelsey Mitchell. If she doesn't need much opening to be able to drive it into a gap, so we wanted to try to make the floor look congested as possible. They did a good job of cutting our congestion. So, adjustments there. We've got to have our head on the swivel. We've got to understand where they were cutting and having some success. I think we've had a good film session. We've shown our players that, that is something we look to improve on. At the same time, we did a good job on what our game plan was, only giving up 3 shot attempts in that first half to Kelsey Mitchell.
Thank you. John?
Coach, you often talk about this being a chess match. Sounds like you're going to have another different starting lineup today, technically. Am I right? Or am I wrong? Or is this one you already used?
It's a good question. I have to ask my analytic people. It's getting so deep that I don't have 14 different starting lineups memorized, if this is 15. But, yeah, again, Zia did start a few games. This will not be her first career start. So I'm not sure it's totally a new lineup. I'm assuming it might be. Might be our... Okay, so it's probably our 15th starting lineup tonight.
Hey, Coach. Fernando Cervantes here with Infanity TV. Seeing the type of season that Jordan Canada has had all year long, she's been on both sides of the floor. Like, how important is that for her to maybe work alongside Zia Cooke, as Zia can take advantage of that time as she's on the court with her out there?
Yeah, I mean, first, Jordan's had a terrific year. It's a credit to herself, her belief in herself, her confidence, but the work she put in, I think coming into the season, coming right out of AU, had her in game shape and had her ready for the season. So just really proud of Jordan. But she's more than that. She's leading someone like Zia and our younger players. Ray, she's tremendously close with Ray, and Ray is essentially in her rookie season with her own adversity last year. So she models on and off the court and is a leader, and the ball's in her hands a lot. So we've asked a lot of Jordan, and she's had a terrific year.
Coach, can you kind of talk us through the strategy on giving Zia another start?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Lexie's out, so trying to get someone that will keep us in attack mode and hunt for shots and be aggressive that way. It takes some load off of Karlie, who is available but is not 100%. That we can bring a spark off the bench that way, and someone like Karlie Samuelson. So thought it was the right decision, and excited to see how Zia responds today.
Great, thank you.
She was good, guys. I mean, Zia was good the other night. She was good defensively. She stripped a couple plays, one on her man, one away from the ball. She made a couple big plays. If she doesn't corral a 50-50 rebound for us to have a timeout and advance the ball, we're not in position, to make a game-winning shot. The basketball gods aligned with the Sparks the other night. A lot of 50-50 bounces went our way down the stretch, and that's what's basketball. We had a couple of those bounces not go our way in Minnesota games and some close losses. So it was nice to see some of those 50-50 plays. We earned it, and it went our way and allowed us to come away with a fun home win, a needed home win, and got us back to 500 at home. Thank you.
See, as you can see, Fredo, Coach is ready to go. they like the feeling of victory. After a team who lost 8 straight games, they're like, hey, we got this feeling of a win. We have to keep it up, and we have to do it here on this Kids Day.
No, yeah, definitely. They cannot, again, I don't know how many times I'm going to say it because these kids are excited. We're like 30 minutes away from getting that game actually started. But let's go ahead and see what Karlie, Samuelson, and Dearica Hamby had to talk to the media earlier this pregame. Check it out.
You guys are up early.
For the both of you, when it comes just to the preparation aspect of making sure mentally and physically you're ready for the earlier start, what changes?
We usually have practice around this time, so
Yeah.
And we're home. Normally, it's when you're on the road and you have the 12:30 games. You're up at like 9 a.m. Or you're playing at 9 a.m. like body clock time. So
Yeah.
I think 12:30 is kind of a solid time.
So you feel ready and prepared. The bodies are awake.
Yeah, there's just no
Nice.
shoot around. That's
No
just,
shoot
I
around.
would say, the only difference. But yeah.
When it comes to obviously your opponent being the same, what are the advantages there? And when it comes to obviously doing the little things and making those adjustments as you guys look to obviously keep the ball rolling?
I mean, they have the same advantage in a sense, but I think when you look at it, it's like, okay, we just played them. These are the things that worked, didn't work, and now you don't really have time to practice them and prep for them. So you're kind of just almost like a back-to-back in a sense. But I think, like you said, being able to go against a team, you know the things that worked for you, and obviously we had success in stopping the Leah Boston and kind of containing Kelsey Mitchell for the most part. So just kind of play off those things and do those things well again.
Have either of you participated in a Kids Day before?
We've played 2 of them this year already in Dallas and Chicago, yeah.
Well, Kids Day is every day for me. So, no, kids games are fun. Like I said, kids are fun.
And you mentioned it already, Dearica, containing Boston. What do you guys make of the job Azure did last game, getting her off her spots?
Yeah, I think obviously her length bothers her. I think she did a very good job not even letting her catch the ball and just kind of using her length to get around her. And I think also with our guards, starts with the ball pressure of limiting them being able to pass the ball inside. And everybody did a good job just congesting and making her always see bodies.
Dearica, speaking of every day being Kids Day, how has Amaya taken to Sparks fandom?
She likes it. She likes the game. She gets on the Jumbotron a lot. And I've always said that kind of the Sparks in-game experience is one of the best ones in this league. A lot of DJ Mowski does a good job of getting the crowd involved and playing good music. And I always kind of look up and I see her dancing on the Jumbotron. So she enjoys it.
Karlie, for you, this is your first game back since being out. For you, what are your goals and what are you looking forward to today?
Yeah, just getting back out there, getting in a rhythm. Obviously didn't play on Tuesday, but I saw what my teammates did well, and I guess just try to bring what I do differently to the game today. Yeah.
I'm curious what you both think Zia Cooke can bring to the starting lineup tonight.
Competitiveness and just a fiery personnel. She competes. She plays hard every single minute of every day, every practice. So we're always, I think, excited for her when she gets the opportunity to be on the floor. I know she gets in her head a lot, but I think we're all proud of her and knowing that the way she competes will take her a lot further in her career than any made or missed basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just getting minutes early too, literally from the jump, I think is good for her. So getting a feel. Sometimes you don't know how much you're going to play, especially if you literally sit the whole first quarter. So I think this is good for her just to get out there, get a feel, and get going.
Hey, Dearica, Fredo Cervantes here in Infanity TV. Well, what kind of challenges are you guys going to face tonight? Of course, it is off of back-to-back, but you're kind of looking forward for Liberty getting another back-to-back here in LA. How important is it to close these games tightly and possibly come out with a win to try to stay in the hunt for the playoffs?
I think just protecting home floor, and you want to win every game regardless. But like I said, it's the benefit of kind of going back-to-back. You don't have to completely switch your whole mojo and switch your defensive schemes. We know exactly what we're doing. We just did it a day and a half ago. But I think not really looking forward, just looking at today.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
are back. LA Sparks Weekly pregame. Michael Matthew, Fredo. We're here. Man, the atmosphere is going to be crazy. We just heard from, two of the players, Karlie and Dearica. The ladies are ready to go. They want to keep this winning going. They know that they have a fighting chance for the playoffs, so they're going to give everything they got. What's your thoughts on this game this evening or this morning?
Yeah, it's morning, afternoon right now, but it's going to be a good game. I mean, again, the Sparks got to go ahead and continue playing defense because at the end of the day, that's how you win games in the WNBA. And Coach did get a chance to talk about it during pregame about how great Zia's defense has been.
Yes.
Especially picking up some very good, getting them multiple steals, getting that important defensive rebound that she got. So as long as the team can gather up, cover each other's behind, when someone cuts backdoor, because there's always a lot of that going on. A lot of backdoor cuts, easy layups, easy to the baskets, and those kind of possessions need to be minimized. And hopefully with the addition of Zia Cooke starting tonight,
and play some
this
Lexie.
afternoon, because of Lexie. So hopefully Zia can play. I wish, I don't know if she has, I don't know if you recall, has she played over 30 minutes in any game so far?
Not as of yet. So we're going to kind of see, hopefully some more minutes from her. We're going to see more minutes from Ray.
Yes.
And it's going to be on the big three once again. Azure, Nneka, Jordan, Canada. If they perform, the Sparks have a great chance to pick up another victory. So the player I'm looking out for, once again, Jordan, Canada, coming off of the 20-10, the game-winning three-point shot, is going to be up to her to lead these ladies so that the Sparks can pick up another victory.
All right, so before we start shaking it off right now to the Taylor Swift, let's go ahead. Give me your player of the game. Who do you think is going to take over tonight and really be effective on the court?
I'm going to go with the player that I just mentioned. I think Jordan Canada is going to have another big game. She's tough, and it looks like she's gaining more and more confidence from her jump shot. So I think that she's going to be ready to go. It might not be another 20-10, but I can see 15, 17, and 8 assists.
Well, one player I think should show up tonight and will because Coach talked briefly about her is Zia Cooke.
Okay.
I think Zia will have that game today. It is an early game. Some of these players, like even Dearica and Karlie Samuelson, were like, hey, we don't get shoot around today. We're going to come out to the court today. And hopefully Zia, very young, she can just wake up out of bed and put 20 points out there. So hopefully that's the case for Zia Cooke tonight. Of course, make sure everyone stay tuned with us because we got a lot of great kids out here today. Hopefully these kids don't go home crying.
We got you covered with everything you need post-game. Make sure you guys tap in. LA Sparks Weekly, Michael Fredo. We got more for you, baby. Go Sparks.
Let's do it. And we're live here with your LA Sparks Weekly postgame show after the Sparks take it again. 2-game winning streak defeating the Indiana Fever 68-81. I'm here with Michael Matthew.
Yep.
Michael, you actually picked the right player of the game again today in Jordan, Canada. 21 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds out of UCLA.
Yep.
What do you have to say about her great performance?
She's playing some really good basketball, and she's needed. She's the quarterback of the team. Coach always talks about it. You need your quarterback to play well. So everything starts with Jordan Canada. I know that Nneka's the all-star. She's a player they can count on every game. She went from 30 to 25 today, but you have to have Jordan playing well, and she's been doing it so far. And then you need the whole team to play on that defensive side because defense is key, and, Coach has to talk about it, and he's been preaching it more and more. So, they have to make sure that they're playing well on that end as well.
I mean, that was the most impressive part of the game today that I saw in my eyes was just the defensive side. I mean, they were able to hold them down to 68 points. I mean, if I remember correct, their last 6 games, every single game they've been giving up almost 80, 90 points.
Yes.
And it's like finally they're getting healthy all over again, even though Lexie Brown did not play today again. But Coach kind of said, hey, this might just be one game.
She needs to rest.
Yeah, she needs to rest, get herself back together because the last game was a little off for her. She only took 3 shots, 1 for 3, 2 points, nothing impressive out of her, but we know we can get more out of her. But one player that did return today was Karlie Samuelson. What did you see on Karlie today?
she's going to give you solid minutes. It may not be the craziest minutes. She may not come out and score a bunch of points and things like that, but she's going to give you solid minutes, and they need those minutes, because they have a lot of young players like Zia, like Ray, who, you don't want to count on too much, but, even they're being asked to do a little more. But, hey, Coach is here, so he's going to be ready to go for the press conference, so make sure you guys check it out.
All right, I did not hear Baby Shark. Did it play? Anyone? Kept waiting for it. Kept waiting for the rodent in Queen. Didn't hear that either, but, great Kid Day game, really loud crowd, inspiration. Our former WNBA assistant coach, Daniel Viglione, talked after the game, seeing all those players that look up to these amazing women on both teams, wearing jerseys of players that are out there playing is such an inspiration and such a platform for these players. Danielle didn't have that when the league started and when she played in '97. And, you can take a step back and really be amazed that all those children are out watching these amazing women. It's fun. Big win for us, a big start to a homestand. Loved how hard we played, even as we got fatigued. We just really competed, and I loved how hard we competed against two of the best players in the world in their positions, in Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston. Held them to 2 points combined in the second half. Team effort on both of them, making other players on the Fever roster step up, and which they did. But to hold Mitchell of Boston combined 2 points in the second half, true credit to that locker room, our game plan, and their fight. Azare and Dearica probably won't get written about because of how outstanding Nneka and Jordan have been in this series, but their defensive effort and physicality on Boston over these two games was impressive, and happy to see that between Azare and Dearica. We don't win this series without their effort on Boston.
So, Coach, you brought up the defensive end. Only one quarter you guys gave up over 20 points. How can you, get this effort out of the ladies' game every game?
Yeah, I felt like there was a fight and determination. We weren't perfect, and, perfection's impossible, but I feel like they're getting more comfortable with each other. I think they're getting comfortable with our schemes. It's nice to have the tenacity of Leja back. I think we're growing together, and it's going to take some time. And, New York has weapons everywhere, and so our defense will really, really be challenged. But we'll prepare and start that preparation on Saturday. We'll take a look at them these next 2 days in their back-to-back and see what we can come up with.
Coach. The other game before, Vivian's, Mitchell, and Boston had big games, but now this game, Vivian's, Mitchell kept them under control. What was the key factor between this game compared to the other game?
Yeah, I thought it was, again, not a ton of different schemes. The schemes were pretty similar between Tuesday and Thursday, honestly. It was our congestion, it was our focus, it was the physicality and knowing what we wanted to accomplish. I thought we had a productive film session between games that showed ways which they tried to exploit us, and I thought we were ready for it, and I loved our fight tonight.
Coach Amani Wright with Winsider. For you, could you talk about Jasmine Thomas's performance tonight? She really looked like, she was getting more comfortable on the floor. She was shooting the ball. She was driving to the basket. Could you talk about her performance tonight?
Yeah, really happy. Shouted her out in the locker room. Obviously, Jasmine's been, my leader for a long, long time. I haven't coached in this league without her, by my side. So, as a head coach, so it was her best game in a Sparks uniform, best game coming back from her knee. She's only going to continue to get better, but I thought getting to the rim, getting an and one early in that first half gave her some confidence. She stepped up and made a big three on a kick out for us. She's a really talented shooter. It doesn't show her percentages this year, but she's a talented catch and shoot player. So happy for her. I know she's pressing to be Jasmine Thomas, and we all have a lot of empathy and compassion on coming back from an ACL. So proud of her tonight. The team recognized it. The coaching staff recognized it. I hope she can, keep that up. She'll give us another dynamic player if she can.
Coach Fredo here with Infanity TV. How do you evaluate Zia Cooke's performance today, even though, she did not have a very good shooting percentage out there, but how do you evaluate that part?
Yeah, I think Zia is getting better and better, and really happy with her effort, and just got to keep getting her confidence that the shot's going to come around and she's going to find more efficiency, and then challenge her to keep taking good shots. Like, she missed a shot, but she worked on a move. She used a move in a game that we've been working on in practice. I was so excited that she pulled it out. It was the right move at the right time. She didn't get it to fall, but, it's those little things that, we've got to support. She took something from the practice floor, used it in a game, and it was the right time to use it. So, again, I think her future, she's got a future. She's got to find ways to find efficiency shooting the basketball, but the effort should never wane, and that's what I'm seeing her grow. At times early on when she wasn't making shots, maybe her effort wasn't as good as or what we needed. And today, regardless of what the shooting percentages are, she continued to play hard the whole time.
Coach, can you talk about the constant that Nneka Ogwumike has been this season? In particular, these last two games, she's raised her season average in scoring above 20 points now. She came into this series averaging about 19.3, and I'm sure it's well above 20 now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, John, tonight is we talked as a team, and there's times where everything runs through Nneka. And at times we may not have a flow because we try so hard to get her touches. And understandably and rightfully so, one of the most efficient players ever in this league. We talked about playing in actions with other people and then playing more with her on the back end. And so not as much attention early. And, I wondered how it was all going to play out today. We didn't always put her in first actions. We didn't always make her the emphasis point early in the shot clock. And she was just as efficient, and maybe even our offense flowed better. So, that's why you listen to players at this level. At the collegiate level, it's a little bit more controlled by coaching staffs. At this level, you listen to players. They are the ones that talked about maybe playing away from Nneka early so you come back late. And I thought we were good today doing that. And again, Nneka, so efficient and, really had another good scoring game.
It sounds like what you're describing to me is the essence of an MVP player.
Absolutely. I mean, you heard it, from some of the children, some of the young people out there chanting MVP. Most valuable players in this league tend to always be in top 3 teams in the league. We're not there. We probably can't get there by the end of the season, but I'll put her play and what her value is to our team up against anyone and what she means to us right now. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Coach. Rico Cabrera, Stellar Sports Scene. To follow up on John's, not so much of a question, but the accolades that are coming towards Jordan, Canada, number 21, just really, really making the impression as a quarterback in that sense of the game of football as well, but the quarterback position. Talk about what she has meant to the team and following up from a buzzer, the game winner, to another strong performance tonight.
Yeah, great back-to-back, games for her. Again, 21 and 7, 20 and 10 the other night. So, do the math, 20 and basically 8.5 these 2 games. But then you ask her to run around with Kelsey Mitchell, arguably, one of the top few off guards in the world, and the tempo that Kelsey Mitchell plays with and what Jordan, has to expend at that end and do what she did at the offensive end is impressive. The other thing that helps us is, out of necessity with some of the injuries to Katie Lou, or the pregnancy to Katie Lou Samuelson and the season-ending injury to Stephanie Talbot, we've had to have more ball handling. But more ball handling allows Jordan to play off the ball at times offensively and get a quick break while Laysia or Jasmine Thomas bring up the ball. We put intentionally Jordan off the ball tonight more than we have in a lot of games, just to catch a few seconds every possession of breath before once again putting her in actions. And again, just she's having a great year. Can't be written about what she means to us. But again, in this league, a lot of people vote for defensive players of the year that rebound and block shots. But what Jordan does on a nightly basis defensively, there's very few guards that are as good in this league defensively as her.
One final follow-up on that, Coach. Give us a capsule of you and Jordan talking, maybe apart from the rest of the crew, but you and her having like a private conversation, but in the heat of battle.
Yeah, our relationship's really growing. It's interesting, how does that happen? You go to a dinner and you talk about nothing about basketball. You beg and beg and beg for UCLA gear, and then you send her, and then you send her a picture when the UCLA gear comes through, and you build camaraderie in weird ways, and it's that kind of banter that we've started. Now I meet with her every pregame before we go back, to have a team talk. We meet at around the 50-minute mark before the start of games and go over, again, buckets of plays that I think will be successful against the type of defense our opponents are. I talk about, how I think we can be successful. So we're having a one-on-one. Today we watch film at that 50-minute mark of a couple moves that I think really suit her and I would like to see her use, and I was showing her through film the differences. So our relationship's really growing and budding, and you need that with your point guard. And it's going to continue. There's a lot more that we can continue to do, but she's the quarterback out there, and there's trust building between us for sure.
Any other questions for Coach?
Thank you. Okay, I got a couple things, sorry. Nneka passed Alicia Milton-Jones or tied her, I don't know, to move into 12th place all-time in rebounds tonight. Dearica grabbed her 1,500 career rebound today. Just a couple. And you guys mentioned that was my 250th game in this league. Very fortunate to coach that long in this league.
So welcome back to LA Sparks Weekly, the post-game show. Mike Calfredo here. So we just heard from Coach, and he really emphasized the defensive end, the great job they did on Aaliyah Boston, on Mitchell there. What's your thoughts on the defensive end of the Sparks today?
I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Azrae Stevens. I mean, even though she did not have the offensive game she normally has, but she was out there battling, bottling up every single player out there, and as well as Dearica Hamby. Dearica Hamby played 24 minutes tonight. She's another body, and as well as Nneka. I mean, the other game on Tuesday night, we saw Nneka and Aaliyah Boston they were battling against each other. It was that rookie against that veteran kind of thing.
Yes.
And then today, I kind of looked at them, and they were smiling with each other. They were laughing it off. So I'm guessing, it was a little kind of, just a in the fire during the battle. So it was pretty good to go ahead and see the Sparks play some great defense. But the best part about it, guess what it was?
What was it?
Guess what? Ray Burrell coming in the fourth quarter. Ray Burrell came in the fourth quarter, and she did play.
She gave a few minutes, but just to go back on the defensive end, I don't know if it was the energy that was given by the kids on Kids Day, which was amazing. It was deafening inside of this arena here today, but the energy that the Sparks came out with defensively, they were in control early because you just saw the urgency that they had on the defensive end, getting stops, making it as tough as possible on Kelsey, on Aaliyah Boston there, and on everybody, even Vivians, who had a big game the last game. So if the Sparks can find this defensive intensity, like Coach is talking about, especially with a matchup coming up against the Liberty on Sunday, it gives them a chance, especially with them getting players back.
Right, and you know how we just mentioned about Jasmine Thomas. Jasmine Thomas and Zia Cooke is going to be joining us right now during the press conference. So let's go ahead and see what they both had to say.
And before they start with questions, I have a couple of Dearica grabbed her 1,500th career rebound today, and Nneka passed Milton Jones in career rebounds. She's now in 12th place, and Jasmine had a season high in points today. Okay, I'll see the ball. Go, Sabrina.
Zia, I saw you, taking a picture with Taria and Aaliyah after the game today. Obviously, you got to start against Aaliyah. What is that like, to be able to suit up against your former college teammate and have all of this South Carolina love in the league?
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird. I've been playing with Aaliyah for a long time, so being an opponent against her is definitely a little weird, but it makes us both realize where we're at right now. We finally made it to the point that we want to be in life, so we cherish it together, and we go at it when it's time to play.
So, LT for TT Sports. Being a rookie and with the wins and losses this year, what have you learned the most about playing in the WNBA?
That you got to roll with the punches. You really don't have time at all to think about a loss because you might have a game literally the next day. So I think that's something that I've learned is just to deal with adversity in a way of being positive and just getting ready for the next opponent.
And my last question for Jasmine. How did it feel tonight? It seems like you're starting to play much more comfortable after the ACL. How do you feel tonight?
I felt good. I'm just trying not to think about it. I'm usually a player that gets in the paint, so for me, those first couple takes where I went inside with contact was all I needed.
Thank you.
Monty Wright with Winsider. Jasmine, for you, you had that and one tonight. How did that feel? Could you take us through that play when you got that and one?
Honestly, it was like a play before where I should have took the baseline and I was hesitant and I didn't, so I knew the next time that I got it on the wing, I could beat the ice.
Thank you.
Hey, Zia, Fredo here with Infanity TV. This is your first year in the league right now, and you've been playing pretty good on the defensive end, as Coach has been talking about, saying that you're in the gym, you're in first in practice, out of practice. How do you evaluate your first kind of 3 quarters of the season so far right now?
I think I'm just going through a rookie process. I think that's exactly what I think. I just think I'm going through a rookie process. Nothing's coming easy for me. Nothing's too hard. Everything's just in the middle. So I just want to make sure that I'm keeping my head on straight, not getting mentally checked out with the adversity that comes with being a rookie, and just being ready whenever my number's called.
So, ladies, you guys have a lot of players out there that can go and get buckets when you guys need it. What can you guys do on the defensive end, like today, to keep you guys competitive and, challenging, great guards that you're going to see coming up?
It's a plan. Same way people have offensive plans, we have a defensive plan. So we all locked into it. We talked about what we were able to do with Boston and Mitchell, and that was a team effort. No matter who we sub in, everybody is locked into that same game plan. So moving forward, we scout, we watch film, we prep for every team the same, and we'll have a game plan that we'll be locked into for the next opponent.
Yes, for both, Rico Cabrera, Stelly Sports Scene. Your thoughts on the environment, the crowd, with the first time for both of you to be here in this particular day here. It's a big game for the Sparks every year, but for players, the first time. Can you both answer that question? How'd you feel out there?
I think what made it very special is that it was a kids' game. We usually have large crowds with just a variety of different people, but for it to be kids, I think we wanted to go out there and play and put on a show for them. And if any of them have dreams to be basketball players, we just wanted to let them know that it can happen. So.
I think that is exactly right. We talked about us being an inspiration to them, so being able to put on a good show for them was important to us.
I got 2 questions. I'd like to start with Jasmine first. We've talked about confidence and that being something important for you. Do you feel like this game adds to that?
Yes. I think I come into every game just trying to get better. That's all I can do, whether it's in practices, off days, just trying to get better. And my teammates are always talking to me and building me up, so I couldn't do it without them.
And Zia, you got your 3rd start, and by my count, you 2-0 against those former teammates. How's that feel?
It feels good. I actually,
yeah.
Aaliyah said to me after we beat them the first time, she was like, "I want you to know we're gonna beat y'all in the next game." I'm like, "All right." So we 2-0, so I'm loving that.
Jordan Canada got 7 assists in the first half. I just want to know, what does it mean to you to have her as a teammate, and how, well she's been doing just this season so far.
JC is an all-star. I'm not really sure how the league got that wrong, but she is playing like an all-star. She's showing it through and through. She's doing everything for us, guarding the best guards, being the primary ball handler, making plays for herself and for everybody else, and she's leading. She's being more vocal than I'm sure she's ever been in her career, and she is really taking on a big role for us and doing a great job.
Jazz, well, nice shirt, but
She went to do.
it seems like you've played a little bit more off-ball here than you have in Connecticut the last few years. Just how has that adjustment been going for you?
It is an adjustment just because I'm used to always having the ball in my hands and kind of just starting the offense, running the offense, making the decisions, and keeping us organized. But it's been nice to kind of just not have to bring the ball up full court and play defense full court, because that's what I was doing in Connecticut. So this is an adjustment for me, but it's going well.
And then Zia, coach had mentioned that there's this move that you've been working on in practice that you finally got to use, but you missed the shot.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, it was this. Yeah, it was like the spin. I worked on it.
She made it last game.
Yeah, I made it last game, but I've been working on it just to get it consistent.
Jesse on Zoom.
Hey, yeah, I think Jesse Barish, WNBA lead, and Zia, I wanted to ask about just building on what Sabrina asked. That move, being able to pull that out in a game, how's that help your confidence, and how you take that going forward to try and expand, more stuff you're trying out?
I'm just trying to expand my package a little bit. I think in college, Coach Staley, she helped simplify my game. So, I definitely learned that part, but now I got to learn how to add the things I had before. So it just takes practice. I got to practice a lot of things, and this is the best that you can get at. So I just got to get it all together, understand everything, and it all fall in place.
All right, looking forward to seeing it. Thanks.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And we are back. We just heard Zia and Jasmine Thomas. My favorite thing Jasmine talked about is the play of Jordan Canada, who, she's right, should have been an all-star player.
Yes.
She is showing you so much. After giving you 20 and 10, she gives you 21 and 7. So, I want to see, more love for Jordan, man. Jordan Canada is a star, man, and we have to show her more love.
No, she definitely is. Even Coach talked about it. He mentioned that they meet every pregame. About an hour before the game, they both sit down together. They talk about it. He treats her as the quarterback of the team. And, some of the things that he kind of talked about is kind of like, it's interesting to see a coach and a player have a relationship like that.
Yeah.
And, Jordan Canada seems like she's kind of listening from her coach. She's doing all the right things out there. And hopefully, the WNBA All-Star team next year has her in place, because I'm sure she's going to continue to play at that same level, maybe even higher, because she can really, take control more on the offensive side of the game. She can be a deadly shooter. She can be also a deadly driver, because when she slashes and drives,
she's tough.
She always goes against the contact, so she can always make room for improvement.
And then the big thing about Jordan is that she's also guarding the other team's best wing and chasing them around and following them. So she's doing so much for the team. And shout out to Zia Cooke, who was in the starting lineup. She had a couple buckets, but now she has the bragging rights, saying, Aaliyah, I know you were the first pick, but I am 2-0 against you, and my Sparks are 2-0 against the Fever. So I can't wait for their next matchup. But Sunday, big-time game, another noon start, 1 p.m. start for the Sparks. They have the New York Liberty. What's your thoughts on that matchup going forward?
Man, we're going to get a chance to see Brianna Stewart, Sabrina, and Jones. And as well, we see the type of team and the chemistry that they already built in the first year, because it's very interesting. When you get a big three built, you normally see the struggles.
Hey, don't forget Vandersloot. She's a hell of a player, too.
She is. Yeah, that's a big four. But, normally when we see a first team with the big three, big four, we see them kind of struggle through it. And right now, Liberty seems like, they've had some tough battles, but they've won a lot of games. And it seems like they're very comfortable with each other out there. And hopefully, very interesting thing that, we heard was that New York is going to be playing a back-to-back today, tomorrow, Friday, fly over on Saturday for an afternoon game on Sunday here at Crypto.com Arena. So that is a key for the Sparks to maybe look and be like, hey, look, we can steal this game.
We can steal this one, but it's the Liberty. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to play some big-time basketball. They're led by superstar players. So it's going to be a tough tough matchup. So that's why you have to celebrate this win tonight for the Sparks, because they took care of business. We said it last week. They have to win the 2 games versus the Fever. They got it done. So now, they're going to get their back-to-back against Liberty. And let's see what they can do, because I'm seeing some good things from this team that I think they can carry over to this Liberty matchup.
Well, I'm also seeing some great things from Infanity TV, because we bring a lot of great things here.
Got
we
you covered,
always
baby.
do it here, of course. LA Sparks Weekly is the hottest show right now. You can catch it 24/7, all game footage, analysis from us. We got you guys covered from the road and here at home. And as well, we got you covered as well with the breaks. So, check us out with the breaks. Also, check out the Profanity Nation. They now move from Sunday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting as well. So we got a lot of great stuff. Make sure everyone go on infanitytv.com as well. Go to Infanity TV on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and don't forget, you see LA Sparks Weekly right here? You subscribe today. Follow us on Instagram, because we got everything covered for you.
If you love the Sparks, you better tap in and follow us closely, because we got you covered with everything that you need. LA Sparks Weekly. Hey, we'll be back at you on Sunday.
Yes, and it's going to be a primetime game, 1 o'clock here from LA. We'll see you then. Hey, Michael, let's see if this works. Kick it off, Michael.
Hey, we are out of here. Peace.
DJ!